Everything works, but everything is covered in beads. What you're looking at behind me it's a police vehicle designed in South Africa in the late 1970s. It was called the Casspir. Casspir was an anagram of the Center for Strategic Studies, which was a military think tank, and the South African Police Services. It can drive over 2 anti-tank landmines at the same time. The wheels blow out. It can be fixed in the field in about 20 minutes. It was seen as one of the most outward signs of oppression during the apartheid years. They take a crew of about 17 soldiers. They've got 15 gun ports. There's a 50mm cannon on the roof. It was designed as a fortress on 4 wheels, as a weapon of mass suppression, and as such was incredibly unpopular in South Africa. The one thing that struck me about the Casspir was it was the only and most successful vehicle to be designed in Africa and exported to the rest of the world. It was designed on a Mercedes-Benz chassis. Mercedes was still allowed to sell civilian vehicles, and it was a way of getting around the sanctions. There was an urgency to me to doing this project when I started seeing vehicles like this showing up in Black Lives Matter protests in Ferguson, Missouri, and I wondered what the story was and how they got here. We decided if we were going to do this beading and it was going to take all this time and effort, we would get it rebuilt. So we had it remanufactured, and everything is new. It's got new engine, new drive shaft, new electrics. Somewhere along the line we came onto the radar of the South African Department of Defense, who were worried that we might be selling the vehicle to ISIS, and I said, you've got to come and see it, because ISIS, as far as I can see, does everything in black, and this thing's very bright. The lady who came from the Department of Defense was an Ndebele lady, and she really loved it, and we got their blessing. The techniques we used were varied. Some of it was weaving, some of it was bead and wire work. We did the headlights in clear glass beads, we did the brake lights in red glass beads, and the flashes in orange. There's 2 drive shafts, and just to bead the one, we took a roll of wire that ran the length of this studio, we beaded it, we wound it round. It took us most of 2 or 3 days, and it covered about 40% of the drive shaft. And then I thought, we really are in trouble on this. It took about 3 years, it took about 100 people, and we managed to cover almost every square inch. Even me as a white South African, I felt like it was a way of doing penance. There'd be 50 million beads on the Casspir, which was one for every man, woman and child in South Africa. In real terms, there's now about 70 million beads.